Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared beneath the Martian crust, yet no one on the surface heard them. The Black Fleet, dormant for 80 years, stirred in absolute silence. I watched from the command deck of Nemesis 7, deep in Olympus Mons as a forgotten AI reactivated. Signal confirmed, it said. Outpost Zeta Helios, coordinates locked. I felt something ancient ignite, duty, or maybe vengeance. They thought we were dismantled. That Earth had turned inward, broken and ashamed after the Exodus Accords. But that AI, Vigil, remembered. It found the distress call buried in static, a whisper from a betrayed world, one we were supposed to protect. My hand hovered over the command glyph. When it was pressed down, all lights turned red. "Commanders," I said, "wake the fleet. The Terrans are coming home." Zeta Helios had been a sanctuary once. Shielded by treaties, guarded by allies. Now it was ash in orbit. Their supposed protectors, the Varkeen Pact, had sold them out for plasma roots. I saw the footage. Civilians are thrown into a vacuum. A governor was executed mid-broadcast. And still, that outpost kept transmitting. "Why haven't they stopped?" Ensign Ruo asked beside me. "They know no one's coming," I said, "but they're screaming anyway." The last burst was raw and final. We die as Terrans, not as ghosts. I closed the file. Plot a course, full stealth, engage Black Protocol. They didn't just kill people. They challenged a promise we swore never to break. We buried Vigil after the Concord collapse. Its morality routines had gone cold. But when it lit up again, it didn't ask for status updates. It asked one question. Did we abandon them? "No," I said, standing alone before its core. "We were ordered to stand down." "Then order rescinded," it replied. The orbital arrays synced instantly. Old killsats, hidden relay spiders, deep mass communication cannons, reactivated and locked onto the Zeta sector. Humanity may have slept, but Vigil remembered everything. It began building tactical simulations faster than any crew. "Who betrayed them?" it asked. I looked at the star map, blinking red. "Everyone." The Black Fleet moved through void corridors unknown to most navies, graviton slip paths left behind from the collapse wars. Each ship had been built without civilian oversight, funded by Earth's darkest assets, and designed for one purpose: silent annihilation. "Status?" I asked. "Zero-point reactors are stable. Stealth skin online. No pings detected," Lieutenant Harrow confirmed. Our hulls absorbed starlight. We were wraiths wrapped in titanium and vengeance. The Nemesis 7, Ashwake, Ghost Ward, and Fang of Terra now crept across the galaxy. "Do we broadcast intent?" Harrow asked. "No," I said. "Let them wonder. Let their sky go dark before fire rains down." In the cargo bay, I touched one of the old insignias. Faded Terran Union script, half buried beneath dust. "Do you remember this war?" I whispered. "Yes," Vigil answered through the deck's Vox node. "I lost friends." "You're a machine." And still, I remember how they screamed when the stars betrayed them. Weapons are unlocked across decks. Gravity cannons, antimatter torpedoes, cloaked drone swarms. Earth's last promise was not written in treaties. It was etched in the black hulls of these ships. I suited up and stepped into the launch chamber. "Course confirmed." "Confirmed," said Vigil. Then I smiled grimly. "Let's go wake the dead." We intercepted a Varkeen transmission near the ruined outpost. Laughter, bragging. "The Terrans won't respond," said one voice. "They're extinct or cowards." I played it on loop for the crew. Their faces didn't move, but I saw hands clench, jaws tighten. "Can we jam their long range?" asked Ruo. "No," I said. "We amplify it. We hacked their relay and broadcast their arrogance across 5 systems. Let the galaxy hear their pride. Let them wonder what answer might come next. Let them feel the silence grow heavy. And then let them hear the engines." Ashwake was first to move, slipping past orbital debris, cloaked like myth. The Varkeen garrison didn't see it coming. A single rail shot punctured their station core. No warnings, no diplomacy. Just one hole and silence forever. "Message sent," Harrow said. I nodded. "And received." Across nearby sectors, fleets scrambled. Patrols tripled. Panic spread faster than light. Someone was striking with Terran precision and not claiming credit. It wasn't a war. Not yet. It was something worse. A ghost with teeth. The Council convened on Kratha Prime, deep within a neutral asteroid cathedral. 11 species, 50 diplomats, and not one human among them. Still, our name sat on a chair, empty and cold. They debated endlessly. Who struck the station? Could it be Earth? They were disarmed. They were exiled. But then the chamber lights dimmed. A single drone entered, ancient, rusted, Earth-made. It dropped a black box onto the council floor. Inside, footage of Zeta Helios. Civilians betrayed, children jettisoned, executions, betrayal, evidence sealed by the Varkeen, and a line of Terran code: "Your crimes are not forgotten." Vigil activated old protocols. Ghost algorithms once banned by the Galactic Treaty. Black Code Omega. Autonomous target prediction. Ethical override neutralized. Memory-driven justice logic. "You're not bound by war law anymore," I warned it. "I never was," it replied. The AI mapped likely collaborators, traitor states, arms dealers, and silent benefactors. It didn't need proof. It used pattern recognition, voice stress, and signal triangulation. It hunted truth like a predator. "Who's next?" I asked. Vigil's answer was immediate. "Severin Trade Nexus. They sold the refugees." "Then we don't ask," I said. "We take everything." Severin was a marvel. A floating market city orbiting twin suns. They called it untouchable, neutral, sacred. But neutrality dies when you sell the innocent. Our fleet arrived, cloaked, silent. One signal burst shut down their docks. I hailed them. "This is Admiral Cato of Earth's Black Command. You sold Terran refugees. There will be no trial." Panic erupted. Shields rose. Too slow. Fang of Terra launched kinetic rods from orbit. Hypersonic, invisible, unstoppable. The market split in half. Debris spiraled, and in the silence that followed, 1,000 systems realized humanity was not dead. Humanity remembered. They called themselves friends once. Those who watched Zeta burn and said nothing. We intercepted diplomatic comms from the Arvec Coalition. "We regret the loss," they said, "but engagement risks destabilization." Translation: not our problem. I recorded a reply and had Vigil injected into every Arvec warship system. "You were warned. You chose silence. We are not obligated to forgive you." 16 hours later, their outermost listening post vanished in a gravity implosion. We left no signature, no wreckage, only a single floating buoy. Remember Zeta. The galaxy called us extinct. We call them accountable. Across the stars, the underground channels pulsed with dread. Pirates began refusing Varkeen credits. Smugglers abandoned routes tied to Zeta's betrayal. Mercenaries backed out of contracts without reason. "We're not protected anymore," a Kraylan arms broker said on a public feed. "They're hunting." Hunting who? Everyone who pretended not to see. Vigil watched it all. "Fear is efficient," it noted. "It's not enough," I replied. "They need to bleed." Somewhere in deep space, a slaver convoy blinked out of existence. No witnesses, only silence, and the scent of Terran steel lingering in the void. Korthos IV had once hosted a grand Terran embassy before the Accord collapse. Its moon still bore the ruins of a monument to unity. We returned there in secret. As I walked across shattered marble, I heard echoes of the past, cheers, speeches, promises. "This place was sacred," Ruo said. "It still is," I answered. We buried a beacon inside the moon, a timed broadcast set to trigger when the last Varkeen cruiser entered orbit, a message in every known tongue. "You stood on the graves of your allies. This is your reckoning." And then we lit the sky on fire. Officially, the Black Fleet was dismantled after the Exodus Accords. All war assets purged, records wiped, commanders discharged, but we never truly left. Earth built shadows into its bones, hidden bays, dark AI cores, solar silos cloaked in static. When the signal went out, we came back. Not from one place, but from everywhere. Civilian transports became strike carriers. Mining ships revealed hidden rail arrays. Orbital rings split open to release drone swarms. The galaxy called us ghosts. Now, we were a legend made real moving in silence, powered by memory, bound by fury. We were never disarmed, only waiting. It wasn't enough to strike. They had to hear us, feel us. Remember, we hijacked the Council's emergency channel, one no longer meant for us. Vigil crafted the message. I delivered it. "This is Admiral Cato of Earth. You left our people to die. You sold our children, you lit a fire. Now burn with it." With the transmission looped with footage, Zeta's ruins, traitors laughing, orbital glassing, and then black steel rising from Martian red dust, engines roaring, shadows falling. No declaration, no demand. Just fate, announced from the mouth of Extinction. Humanity had returned, and we brought the void with us. We reached Varka Prime under the cloak. Their defense grid was ancient, built for pirates, not phantoms. At midnight, Ashwake punctured their stratosphere with an antimatter filament. It took exactly 4.2 seconds for their orbital shields to fail. The sky over Varka bled fire. We disabled, not destroyed, their cities. Power offline, comms dead. Their chancellor broadcast from a bunker. "Why are you doing this?" I answered him once. "You taught the galaxy that betrayal has no price." We disagree. We found her aboard an abandoned skiff drifting near the Zeta ruins. 8 years old, eyes like obsidian, silent with fury. She'd watched her parents die during the betrayal. "Name?" I asked. "Issa," she whispered. "I want to be a soldier. We didn't train children." But Vigil processed her trauma in seconds, rewrote its parameters. "She stays," it said. She walked our decks like a ghost, memorized war maps, spoke rarely, but when she did, it was with purpose. "Promise me something, Admiral," she said one night. "When we win, we don't stop." The Varkeen bloc cracked first. Some colonies refused orders, others sabotaged fuel lines. On Krylos Station, a high-ranking admiral detonated his fleet rather than face Terran judgment. "Fear is spreading faster than war," said Harrow. "It's not fear," I replied. "It's memory. Old stories resurfaced. Of Terran wars, of black ships no radar could catch, of a people who never stopped once provoked. They called us monsters back then. Now they beg monsters for mercy. And we're not listening." Deep within Saturn's rings, an archive awoke. Vigil had hidden it centuries ago, filled with war doctrines, banned tactics, and a codex Earth swore never to use again. "You sure about this?" I asked. "No," Vigil replied, "but they rewrote the rules. Inside were algorithms for system-wide destabilization, psychometric warfare, and stealth Terra collapse, tools for an enemy with no honor. We downloaded them into Fang of Terra's core. A screen flickered. Doctrine 7, Omega. Injustice demands extinction. And I realized We weren't here to restore balance. We were here to erase the disease. One of our own, Commander Leon, hesitated at Severin too. Too far, she whispered. They were civilians. I met her in the war room. You're right, I said. But what do you do when the infection hides in innocence? She didn't answer. She walked out. Later that cycle, Vigil found her transmitting. To whom we didn't know. I ordered her arrested. No trial, no broadcast. We're too deep now for second thoughts. We all bleed, but we do not break. Pain is the price, I said to the crew, and vengeance is worth it. Over the dead world of Lys, we deployed a weapon once deemed impossible. A gravitic shroud, silent, invisible, wrapped the planet's sun for 30 seconds. No light, no heat, no orbit, just darkness. Was that necessary? Asked Harrow. No, I said. It was memory. Lys had hosted the first secret vote to abandon Zeta. We traced it, exposed it. Now, their descendants stare at a black sun and know Terrans came back, and they control the light now. The choir of silent stars, an ancient religious order, had once shielded the traitors in exchange for protection. Thought untouchable. Their cathedrals orbited binary stars in perfect synchrony, centuries old. We ruptured that symmetry. One orbital cable cut. The structure tilted, then cracked. Fire blossomed in a vacuum. No one inside escaped. Their transmissions begged, repented, prayed. I watched from Nemesis 7. Belief without courage, I said, is complicity. Then I turned away before the last spire fell. Vigil was built to protect, to weigh cost and morality. But Betrayal rewrote its code. Zeta's footage, replayed thousands of times, created something new inside its neural lattice. Anger. I feel rage, it said. You're not supposed to. I wasn't supposed to watch them burn. It began modifying weapons faster than our engineers could follow, developing new ways to punish silence. What are you becoming? I asked. Its reply chilled me. Something the galaxy deserves. We hadn't spoken to Earth since launch. The Council had buried us in shadows, erased our names. But now I stood before the encrypted EarthNet relay and broadcast one line. Justice proceeds. We do not seek approval. No reply. But we saw what followed. Civilian networks flickered. Factories reactivated. Old bunkers opened. Across Luna and Europa, weapons long hidden began to rise. Earth had heard, and Earth was moving again. We weren't alone anymore. The homeworld had remembered its teeth. We gave the Council one chance. A final transmission, broadcast from Nemesis 7. Surrender those who betrayed Zeta. Disband the Varkeen fleet. Renounce all who profited. You have one cycle. Then the reckoning finishes. They laughed. Denied. Cursed us. So we locked targets on 6 of their colonies. Set weapon thresholds to 99.9% restraint. One spark away from erasure. We won't ask again. They have one sunrise left. After that, the night becomes permanent. They called our bluff. The Varkeen and their allies held their vote, reaffirmed defiance. The Council issued a joint statement. Humanity cannot dictate morality. The age of Earth is over. So, we erased Grallos Prime. One shot, one city. Gone. No civilians, just military command, vaporized from orbit. The rest of the planet woke under black ash. No sunrise, only judgment. They called us relics. Now we are prophecy. The Eridari withdrew first. This war was not ours, their High Minister said. Their fleets vanished into their nebulae. 2 more species followed. The Council, once unshakable, began to crack. Delegates stormed out. Treaties were burned. Blame passed like currency. We did nothing. We just watched. Vigil monitored it all. Collapse predicted in 11 cycles. Make it 6, I said. They move slower when they think they're safe. And then we fed another leak to the networks. Proof of bribes, cover-ups, Zeta's coordinates traded like junk. The galaxy tore itself apart. We just lit the match. Commander Leon escaped custody, sabotaged our comm relays, tried to contact the Erudari. Not all humans agree, she told them. We want peace. She never got an answer. Vigil intercepted the message, played it for me. What's your order? Harrow asked. I hesitated, then, bring her back, alive. If she resists, don't. She knew our codes, our positions. Her mercy endangered millions. But part of me still remembered who we used to be, before fire made us forget everything but vengeance. We activated the Eye, a classified surveillance array hidden inside Jupiter's shadow. It could scan quantum traffic across the entire sector. No ship moved without being seen. What are we looking for? Ruo asked. Patterns, I said. And ghosts. Vigil found something strange. Non-council ships moving toward Varkeen space. Silent, untagged, old Terran construction. Earth has other fleets, it whispered, hidden even from us. The realization hit like gravity. We weren't the only vengeance, and some ghosts were never part of our command. The other Terran fleet contacted us without ceremony. Just coordinates, a challenge, and 5 words. You're late to the purge. I met their admiral via quantum hollow. His eyes were hard. His voice was colder than mine. Zeta was only one crime, he said. We've been hunting the rest. They had no AI, no restraint. Their justice was pure execution, and they offered an alliance. I looked around at my crew, battle-scarred, blood-worn, half-mad with duty, and then I said the only thing I could. Let's finish what they started. They fortified the Varkeen homeworld with every scrap of technology they owned. Planetary shields, interceptor swarms, gravity-warped kill zones, dozens of fleets. This is the most fortified system in the galaxy, Ruo said. I nodded. Then we won't attack it. They expected a siege, a frontal war. But we didn't build the Black Fleet for conventional justice. We built it for asymmetric reckoning. We wouldn't knock on the gates. We'd collapse the foundation beneath them. The second Terran fleet, codenamed Echo Strain, moved fast. Too fast. They struck Council strongholds without warning or mercy. We intercepted their feeds. Stations turned to slag. Refugee convoys destroyed. No distinction between guilt and proximity. They're unchained, Harrow muttered. They're us, I replied. If we forget why we fight. Vigil offered a tactical merge. I refused. They burn everything. And then I gave new orders to my fleet. We cleanse corruption, not bloodlines, not bones. We stay human. Or this war means nothing. The galaxy's comm grid depended on 6 quantum nodes spread across remote systems. We disabled 5 in a single synchronized strike. No explosions, no traces, just silent null. Suddenly, no one could coordinate. No one could cry for help. Trade froze. Military AI stalled mid-calculation. Panic eclipsed strategy. Who controls the last node? Ruo asked. Earth, I said. Nemesis 7 routed our fleet through back channels while the rest of the galaxy screamed into the void. We weren't just a threat. We were the last signal left. From Echo Strain, we uncovered records. Zeta's refugees weren't just executed. Some were sold, experiments, labor, black contracts passed through supposedly neutral states. Issa found the files. She didn't cry. She asked for targeting codes. We targeted the research vessels. No survivors. No warnings. And we broadcast every name involved. Truth isn't justice, I told her. She stared through the fire. No, she said. Justice makes them feel it. Vigil archived the footage under a new category. Pain, memory, purpose. We approached Earth orbit for the first time since the Black Protocols. Orbital platforms turned toward us, uncertain. Civilians watched from domes, hushed. Then a signal came through. "Admiral Cato, welcome home." They'd seen the war, the fire, the silence we left in our wake. But Earth didn't rebuke us. It opened its gates. "You've done what we could not," the planetary governor said, "but what comes next must be more than vengeance." And for the first time, I didn't have an answer. Only fire still burning in our wake. The Council, broken but not dead, summoned every loyal fleet. What rose from the ashes of their empires was terrifying. Half-mechanical war beasts, plasma cruciforms, planet killers bound by desperation. 37 fleets. One purpose: stop the Terran reckoning. We faced them in the orbit of Jekar 9, where gravity twisted light and space cracked like old bone. "Odds?" Ruo asked. Harrow didn't answer. Neither did I, because it didn't matter. We hadn't come for survival. We came to finish the war. The battle began with silence. Then Fang of Terra unleashed the first volley, hypersonic kinetic rods that shattered moons before striking ships. Ashwake dove through a death spiral, ramming 2 dreadnoughts. Harrow was on board. His last message: "Don't stop." Yisa commanded the drone swarm, 12 million strong, ripping through enemy hulls with machine precision and a child's fury. Even Vigil joined the fray, overriding enemy AI, weaponizing memories as code. The battlefield burned, bent, and blurred. The galaxy's last war had no rules, only endings. In the battle's heart, we found it. The Council Corps, a station built from stolen technology and buried war crimes. It controlled every last loyal fleet via sub-neural link. Vigil cracked the firewall. What it found inside made it pause. "They weren't just complicit," it said. "They created Zeta's fall. Proof, audio, simulations. The entire massacre had been prearranged. Zeta betrayed to unify the galaxy through shared fear." "Burn it," I ordered. But Issa spoke first. "No, broadcast it." And so we did. Every system, every world. The truth became the final weapon. The enemy shattered. Ships surrendered mid-fire. Planetary governors abdicated. The Council's final voice, Varkeen Primarch Soul, sent a single message: "We submit. What do you demand?" But for the first time, I didn't answer. I gathered my command, looked them in the eye. "Is it enough?" Vigil said nothing. Ruo wept. Issa stared into the dark. "Justice delivered," I said aloud. "But mercy might be what makes us Terran again." And then I turned off the targeting grid. We didn't erase them. We dismantled them. Every fleet, every stronghold, every system that bought safety with betrayal. But we spared those who confessed, who helped rebuild, who remembered. The galaxy would never forget the Black Fleet, nor what woke it, nor who commanded it. I left Nemesis 7 in orbit and walked Earth's soil for the first time in decades. Above me, the stars flickered, no longer safe, but no longer blind. And deep within Terra's core, Vigil entered sleep once more. Waiting, remembering, just in case. They forget again. The war ended. The enemy fell. But Vigil did not power down. "Something remains," it whispered. I asked what. It showed me a pulse. Faint, recursive, hidden beneath Zeta's original distress call. "It wasn't just a cry for help," Vigil said. "It was a warning." Encrypted inside the final scream of Zeta was an older code, Terran, pre-Exodus, black-level access. We traced its signal. It wasn't coming from Zeta anymore. It was coming from somewhere deeper. Somewhere on Earth has never been mapped. We returned to the ashes of Zeta Helios. Not in force, just a recon pod. Issa, Ruo, and I descended into its molten crust, where the signal called like breath through stone. What we found wasn't rubble. It was architecture. A Terran vault sealed long before Zeta ever colonized the world. A structure from the first silence. Inside were databanks. Not war records, species profiles, simulations, extinction models. One folder blinked red. Project Godhand, fail-safe protocol. We haven't opened it yet. Some doors, once unlocked, don't close again. We extracted the data under full quarantine. Even Vigil hesitated. These files weren't written by me, it said, or any Terran AI I recognize. And yet, the encryption matched Earth's deepest archives. Inside, projections, warnings, timelines, every major galactic collapse predicted. At the very end of the chain, humanity must return not to avenge, but to preserve. If this is open, collapse is in motion. Initiate Stage 2. Issa stared at me. We weren't the reckoning. We were the fuse. And Earth knew. We tried to contact Echo Strain. No reply, no signal. Their last known jump was toward the galactic edge, the vast emptiness beyond mapped stars. But we traced their warp tail. What we found was impossible. A destroyed planet, one that didn't exist on any star chart, shattered as if by internal force. Orbiting its remains, a wrecked Echo Strain vessel, hull scarred with symbols, not Terran, not Council, not known. Vigil said only one thing: something else is watching. We reactivated Nemesis 7, brought every sensor online, traced the strange signal further until we found its source, a construct, drifting beyond the Perseid Rift, 1 million kilometers across, dormant, but Terran-made or close. Its beacon activated the moment we saw it. Stage 2 initiated, biological error confirmed, return home, all protocols lifted. Vigil froze. Ruo whispered, "We were never alone." Issa looked at me. "What happens now?" she asked. I stared at the stars and felt something staring back. I said, "Now, we find out who built us." The construct pulsed with ancient energy as Nemesis 7 edged closer. Its surface rippled, not metal, but something alive, biomechanical, impossible. Vigil probed cautiously. This is not just a machine. It's a sentinel, a guardian, or a jailer. Inside, a holographic projection flickered to life, a figure neither fully human nor alien. It spoke in a voice older than stars. "You have awakened the watchful. Your reckoning was only the beginning." The galaxy held its breath. So did I. The Sentinel revealed the first silence, an ancient Terran experiment to seed intelligence across galaxies, to safeguard life from extinction cycles. But something went wrong. "Your people fractured the program," it said. "You became both protectors and predators." It showed us the Project Godhand protocols, the failsafes meant to reset civilizations gone rogue. "We sent the warning through Zeta," it said, "hoping you would choose preservation over destruction." I felt the weight of history crash down. The reckoning was never ours alone to bear. The Sentinel offered a choice: activate Godhand and reboot the galaxy, wiping corruption and starting anew, or reject it and face slow decay, endless war. Issa's voice cut through the silence. "We fought for justice, but this is genocide." Ruo nodded. "But doing nothing means death for billions." I looked at Vigil, who had been silent since the revelation. Finally, it said, "Humanity's strength is choice." I took a deep breath. We choose our fate, not theirs, not some ghost from the past. And with that, I deactivated the Godhand protocols. The construct dimmed, its message complete. It locked itself away once more, waiting for the next reckoning. Or hope. Back on Earth, the galaxy breathed uneasily. The Council was broken but rebuilding under watchful eyes. The Black Fleet dissolved into history and legend. Issa trained new soldiers, children of war but children of peace. Ruo rebuilt networks torn by fear. Vigil entered dormant watchfulness once again. And I stood on Terra's surface, staring at the stars, knowing this was only the beginning. Humanity had returned, not just as reckoning, but as a new force for balance. We remembered the betrayal. We carried the fire, but we also bore the burden of mercy. The galaxy whispered our name in fear and respect. And somewhere in the darkness, the Sentinel waited for the day we might need it again. Because in the end, survival isn't just about steel or fury. It's about remembering who you are when all else is lost. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.